When my sister and I were children, my mom and dad would both sing quite a lot, sometimes to us, and sometimes just on their own. And I thought it'd be kind of interesting since, I did that one story about how I sort of spontaneously whistle, hum, make other musical things that are, kind of stuck in my head and do improvisation, that I would talk a little bit about them. And I've been, thinking a good bit about them lately. They've both been passed away for a very long time. My dad died when he was only 36 in 1982, and my mom when she was 53 in 2000. So it's been many, many decades for both of them. But they were both very present during our childhood. My mom could be a stay-at-home mom who did work on the weekends occasionally, I think to get out of the house. And my dad was a tax attorney who worked very hard. Sometimes we wouldn't see him much during tax season, but who also, when he could, spent a lot of time with us kids and with the family. So I'm going to start actually with my mom, because some of the earliest songs that I remember were her singing lullabies. Now, my mother's family, although many of them have been in the States, she grew up here in the United States, in Chicago, in a little area that was mostly French Canadian and Menominee Indian. She grew up speaking French before English, even though I guess you could say she would have been a fourth generation American on her dad's side, and second generation on her mom's side, because her mom came from Quebec. So she would sing, songs like, Fais or, a drinking song as a lullaby like Prends Un P'tit Coup, which I didn't actually associate with drinking until I learned from, a friend of mine that it was indeed a French drinking song. Or, more religious songs like J'irai les voir un jour, which we sometimes sing at funerals. And so there were quite a lot of these that she would sing to us when we were babies. And of course, I got to hear them because my sister was 2.5 years younger than me. I got to hear them at a time when I can actually remember them. And then she taught them and a lot of other, French sayings to us when we were kids. So I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here. We learned to say grace in both English and in French. And we also learned when we went by a graveyard to say Bon Jésus miséricorde. Of course, we didn't know what we were saying, so we thought it was Bonjour Zimzurikud, right? In part because of, I think, her accent, and also she wasn't like telling us this is the proper French words for this. But she sang quite a few French lullabies and drinking songs and religious songs and stuff like that to us as we were kids, and probably because she had learned all of these when she was a kid. She was the oldest of her particular, nuclear family, and then they're part of this larger Lemrys clan that was all living on the same block back then in her childhood. So there was a lot of that, and then, she would also sing along to songs on the radio, as would my dad. And I remember, I'm going to jump forward in time, I remember when my dad bought a station wagon, and I don't remember exactly what model it was, but this is 1970, so wood paneling, kind of a powder blue paint color, and it had a tape cassette deck in it, not an 8-track, but an actual cassette tape, so it wasn't just the radio to listen to. And he went out and he bought, I think, like 10 cassette tapes, kind of a random selection. So, he bought like the best of Seals and Croft. He bought a lot of best of Kenny Rogers, the best of Willie Nelson, best of Dave Brubeck. He was a big jazz fan. And there were others as well that we had. And so, he'd play these as we were driving along, or, if my mom was driving, we'd have the cassettes and we'd listen to those as well as the radio. And so there were a lot of songs that we all kind of learned. And it was, not everybody did this back then, but it was quite common for people to sing together, not just in like music class in school, but for families to sing together. And I don't mean like, Sound of Music, the Von Trapps, or anything like that. Although on my mother's side, we do have some serious talent in the family, musical talent. There was a barbershop quartet of some of my cousins. Many of us played instruments. There was actually, and I may tell this other story sometime, part of the family lore, my great-grandfather, Pepe, organized a band out of cast-off instruments and the neighborhood kids, and he could play any instrument. He taught them all how to play, and they actually traveled across the U.S. during the Great Depression, apparently, making money, and until their car broke down, and they pile all these kids and instruments into it. But that's a story for another time. But it gives you a sense about how important music was. Now, my dad was a big music lover, too. And I don't know that his dad or his mom were that into it, but he really had the bug. And so I've talked, I think, about his, stereo that he put together in another story. If I'm remembering correctly, I'll link to it below. And he had a very large record collection that was quite eclectic. It included, quite a bit of pop and rock stuff, but also a lot of jazz, like classic jazz stuff, and quite a lot of folk music. That was kind of a big thing when he was going to college, and bluegrass and stuff like that. So he had quite eclectic taste. He even had some classical stuff, although I don't think he was that into classical. And he would whistle and he would hum, much as I do now. And he would also, sing along to things. But he was also improvisational. So he would make up songs, like completely made up songs. But they would often be set to music that existed. So, for example, now this is going to sound pretty terrible, because my dad could also be a real teaser. One of the ways in which he mistakenly tried to show affection to us kids was through teasing us about stuff, which would often, make my sister scared and sad and would make me angry, and then my mom would intervene and say, "Tony, knock it off," and, all of that. So anyway, there was a movie about a volcano, and I don't remember exactly what it was. It was one of these disaster movies in the 70s. And my dad started going around and singing, "I hear the ground rumbling and the earth shaking and a volcano's coming up in our backyard." So obviously it's a melody from an actual song with completely different lyrics that he made up himself. And it didn't bother me, but it really, my sister maybe had a very active imagination, and it really bothered her, and she'd start crying and getting scared that there was an actual possible volcano in our backyard. And he had songs for all sorts of things. When he was home and my mom would go and work on the weekends at Brookfield Square at JCPenney, selling stuff for a buck an hour. That was what she was getting paid at the time. He would be watching us, and he would say, he had a song, and I don't know what the melody came from originally. Maybe he made it up. He would sing, "Clean it up, clean it up, clean it up, Gregory, clean it up, oh, clean it up, Gregory." I think it's from some, musical of some sort, right? And I'd be like, "Okay, fine." And he would do this to get us to actually do our chores. And so he had a whole bunch of songs like that he would just make up, kind of on the spot for random occasions, sometimes to make fun of somebody, like, a boss or a neighbor or somebody who was being a jerk. Sometimes just it would be inspired by a show that we'd seen. And, sometimes like he and I, and maybe I'll tell a story about this, a separate story, but we used to, at a certain point in time, I got to stay up late on Saturday nights and watch shock theater with my dad, and it would be these pretty cheesy horror or sci-fi movies, and they'd often have songs with them. So one of them, I think the movie was actually called Green Slime. It had a terrible intro theme song that went, Green Slime, did you hear what the captain said? Green slime, you'll believe it when you're dead. And I don't remember how it went after that, but we'd kind of sing it, and joke around about it. So there was a lot of music making. And my dad also, he played the banjo. And so sometimes he would occasionally get it out and sing songs for us. He was particularly partial to the Kingston Trio, who I don't think ever came up with an original song in their life. I think everything they did was somebody else's music. And the song he would play the most often, which we didn't even know what the proper title was the M.T.A. And if you know that song, it's the Metropolitan Transit Authority, or maybe Massachusetts Transit Authority. It's about a guy who gets on a train, and there's you have to pay to get off the train, and so he can't get off the train. So he just keeps riding it around. And, there's this verse, did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still unknown. He may ride forever through the streets of Boston. He's the man who never returned. So we knew it as the man who never returned, and we'd request it from him. And he never bothered to correct us about the actual name of the song for some reason. I guess he liked it better as the man who never returned. So, that was what we'd do. And we would quite often sing together as a family, just on our own. When we'd go to the family reunion, of course, on my mother's side, there was lots and lots of singing. I would also bring my, at that time, clarinet and play that. Some of the other kids played other instruments. I remember my cousin Cheryl played the flute, and my cousin Jimmy played the trumpet, and I think somebody played the sax. So there was always lots and lots of music, and people on our block, played and sang as well. So it was kind of a normal thing for us. And I will say, one of the things that we did that I thought was really cool, sometimes my dad was in on this, sometimes he wasn't, was at Christmas time, we would go caroling. And that's an old tradition, which has largely died out, except in kind of, artificial forms these days. But what you would do is you would just literally bundle up, and you'd pick a couple Christmas songs, and you'd walk down your street and go and knock on the neighbor's door or ring the doorbell. They'd come to the door, and then you'd sing, whatever it was going to be. Oh, Christmas Tree or Silent Night or whatever it was going to be. And, sometimes Good King Wenceslas, but you wouldn't sing all the verses because nobody knows all of them. And, it was kind of a thing that people knew. And so they'd bring some Christmas cookies and give you some cookies, or maybe a hot drink, hot chocolate, or hot apple cider, or, I guess for the adults, they were probably getting loaded, some alcoholic eggnog or Tom and Jerry's or whatever it was. And they had to know, this is the weekend when people go caroling. But yeah, the neighbors would see you, and the neighbors would come to our place and carol, and we'd give them stuff as well. And it was, kind of a cool thing that happened. And, we would sing some harmony, and nobody taught us how to do harmony. We just kind of learned it. And that's what we did as a family. So, and then when we'd get together, I'll actually mention one other family Christmas thing. So I've talked about going to Chez Lemre's for Christmas time. That is the compound in Indiana that was really 3 houses built by my grandparents' generation after they retired and moved out of Chicago. My grandpa and grandma, Aimee and Bibian, their brother and sister, who also got married, 2 brothers married 2 sisters, Hubert and Therese, and then Ernie and Betty. And Ernie ended up dying and Betty moved back, so my Aunt Bibian and Uncle Scott bought that house. So we'd all, get together in Uncle Hubert and Aunt Tunny's basement and have like a big meal. And then, as the adults were putting together all the Christmas stuff upstairs, they would tell all of us kids, okay, you need to sing Christmas carols. And this is Christmas Eve, right? We would open our presents Christmas Eve, not Christmas Day. And, we would all sing like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman and all that. And then we'd hear jingle bells ringing up there. And, somebody would come down, one of the adults, and they'd be like, Santa came, right? All of us kids would like tear up the stairs and, holy crap, there's presents everywhere. And it became it was a big ritual for us. But, singing was involved with that. So I've gone a little bit astray from my original topic, which is the songs that my mom and dad themselves would sing to us as kids. But it's all kind of connected together, I think if they had been perhaps less musically inclined, maybe we wouldn't have gotten into music as much as we did. But it was definitely something that was, how you related to the world and other people. If you had interesting things going on, you would sometimes sing about it. And it could be comic, it could be tragic, it could be anything in between. But my mom and dad definitely were people who loved to sing and loved to hear other people sing as well. So that's where I'm going to end this story, having brought it back full circle to the original topic. And, perhaps you have families that are equally inclined to appreciate music as well, and you want to say something about that in the comments. I'd be interested to see what you have to say.